When they see us, when they see her, when they see her, they see us. It'll make sense later.
What's poppin', everyone? I'm LaPortia and welcome to Up and Out. Let's start with the show with some cultural excellence, shall we? Ava Duvernay is now the first Black woman to have a film compete in the Venice Film Festival. This is 80 years in the making, y'all. Duvernay is a multi-award winning filmmaker, and she brought her newest film, Origin, to the festival. The film received an 8-minute standing ovation. Go girl, according to Deadline. That is just incredible. It's remarkable. In a press conference, the history maker said, and I quote, "For Black filmmakers, we're told that people who love films in other parts of the world don't care about our stories and don't care about our films. This is something that we are often told. You cannot play international film festivals. No one will come," Duvernay said. She went on to say, and this year, something happened that hadn't happened in 8 decades before. An African-American woman in competition. So now that's a door open that I trust and hope the festival will keep open. You go, girl. Listen, I love and respect people who break barriers, who is not afraid of change, who wants to push forward. What's your favorite Duvernay project? If you ask me, I would have to say When They See Us. I cried for days. I also got to interview the stars and the real people behind that film and went totally viral. She also directed Selma, A Wrinkle in Time, and multiple documentaries. Let me know yours. Speaking of films I love, listen, y'all know I'm a huge superhero lover, and I felt like Aquaman was a really great movie. Well, guess what? It's coming back to the big screen. Yes, a sequel, and we have a little sneak peek. The Advocate Channel's Rick Damigella has more on this box office smash. Check it out.
I'm gonna kill Aquaman and destroy everything he holds dear.
Aquaman returns. Jason Momoa dives back in as the popular superhero in the upcoming sequel, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. This is a sneak peek at the action-packed flick, which is set to hit shores December 20th. Rachel McAdams takes to the stage. Variety reports that the actress is set to make her Broadway debut in the new play Mary Jane. The drama will follow a single mom dealing with an impossible family situation and begins previews in April 2024.
Changes in latitude, changes in attitude.
Jimmy Buffett's legacy lives on. The music legend's songs have garnered massive support following his death earlier this month, and now his 1985 Best Of collection, Songs You Know by Heart, Jimmy Buffett's Greatest Hits, has reached the top 5 of the Billboard 200 Albums chart for the very first time. It marks the late star's 13th top 10 charting album. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Now, y'all know anytime I get to talk about Beyonce, I'ma take it. Well, guess what? Beyonce is out here increasing sales for silver and chrome vendors everywhere. Talk about having the market on lock. Okay, so Beyonce had one B-Day wish to all of her fans this year, which is to wear your most, and I quote, fabulous silver fashions if you are attending the Renaissance World Tour during Virgo season. She said that she wants us to mirror each other's joy, and together we shall be called the House of Chrome. Well, it's no surprise that this benefited small business owners who sell on Etsy. All right, so on August 21st, Etsy reported a spike in searches for certain items. Can you guess what it was? Well, the company saw a 25% increase in searches for disco hats and the same rise in searches for silver shirts, corsets, or tops. Etsy sellers described getting panicked messages and offers to pay extra for expedited shipping after Beyonce dropped the surprise announcement. Let me just tell you something. A queen is gonna queen, and guess what I'm gonna do? Buzz, be in her little hive. Speaking of Beyonce, one thing that I personally really admire is her and Jay-Z's last name. Can you guess what it is? Yes, it's Carter, but they both have the exact same last name. Hear me out. Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter and Sean Knowles Carter. I love it. I've always said that I would really like my partner and I to take each other's last name. Much like them, I had a professor in college who said it was a very freeing feeling for her to know that her husband looked at her as an equal in every way and not property in the wrong ways. A recent survey shows about 1 in 5 women in opposite sex relationships don't use their husband's last name. 14% say they've kept their own, and 5% hyphenate. According to the Pew Research Center study, well, the numbers are even greater for those with postgraduate degrees or who are under 50. Okay, among unmarried women, only a third say they plan to make the swap. Listen, most men don't seem willing to do what Jay-Z did, with only 8% saying that they would take their partner's name. And I'm not surprised. I mean, we live in a society of patriarchy. The study found that most women simply want to keep their identity and family history. Also, it's important to note, historically, the tradition of taking a man's last name comes from when women had no legal identity. You know, conventional law dictated that females live under their father's identity until being transferred, yes, transferred like an object, to their spouse. So it's not like it was super well intentioned and, you know, just full of love. And listen, personally for me, I say do what makes you happy. Do you, boo. I have some friends that have taken their husband's last names. I have others that haven't. I have others that don't plan to. I have some that would like to do what I would like to do. I think the most important thing is not to judge, but to just do you. All right, on to some more political-like news. Listen, there's a big deal trial going on right now. Have you heard about the Google monopoly trial, the antitrust trial going on? Well, that's what I'm here for. Listen, prosecutors are taking on tech giant Google in a landmark antitrust trial. Prosecutors are saying that for years, the company has intentionally stifled their competition via its massive search engine. And as you know, monopolizing in the U.S. is illegal via the U.S. antitrust law. This case is being described as the largest U.S. antitrust trial since the feds took on Microsoft in the early 1990s. In its initial complaint, the U.S. government alleged in part that Google pays billions a year to device manufacturers such as Apple, LG, Motorola, and Samsung, and browser developers like Mozilla and Opera, you know, to be their default search engine. The government also claims that in many cases, Google also pays to block those companies from dealing with competitors. The complaint also alleges that Google's Android operating system requires smartphone companies to pre-install other Google-owned apps such as Gmail, Chrome, or even Google Maps. On the flip hand side, Google is like, girl, don't hate. People choose us because our search engine is superior, period. So listen, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this case. The end result of the trial could change how Google distributes its search engine to users, and this trial is expected to last several weeks. All right, y'all, that's it for the show. We're going to wrap up. But by the way, did y'all see what Cardi B said, you know, her Real Housewife tagline would be? She said, "The only thing that I throw harder than Mike's is shade." Listen, I love that. I'm gonna try to think of what my Real Housewives tagline would be. I gotta think of something because I'm not a shady person, but I'm a clever one. So I'll get back to y'all on that. All right, everyone. See you tomorrow, girls.